New year here at K-ROG. We've got financial expert Bruce Porter, and we're going to be talking about financial news and advice right after this.
Worried about taxes? Who isn't, right? As our country continues to ponder how to pay for stimulus measures and relief efforts that were enacted during the pandemic, the Biden administration already has laid out several tax proposals that would leave the wealthy and corporations facing increases. While changes to tax legislation may be beyond our control, we can develop plans that include tax-efficient strategies, estate planning options, and much, much more. Protect what's yours. Call the Resource Center today to see how we can help minimize your tax bill to Uncle Sam.
Thanks again, Bruce, for coming in, sharing your wisdom, experience, and knowledge with all of us here in Rogersville. So. You've really come to adopt this town, haven't you?
I have. I love Rogersville.
Yeah, me too. But
we shop here. We go to church here. I actually noticed on my property taxes that I support the Rogersville School District, which I was very, very glad about that because that's why I was trying to exit metropolitan area.
Well, I don't blame you.
And I would rather support a school system that has similar beliefs as I do.
Yeah, well, of course, it's a public school system, so there's all the things that go along with that. But as far as the public school system goes, this is probably one of the best public schools in the state, if not the country, just from a cultural perspective. It's pretty darn good.
Yeah, because they have Shelby Worsham working there.
And Sarah Worsham, and Jack's a senior. And
Jack is supporting the senior crowd.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you got to see the morning waffle from the very last one of the season with Dr. Rocky Valentine, but our new incoming superintendent. But
yeah, I did not. My house exploded.
That's right.
At a gusher Christmas Eve.
Well, as soon as you're able, though, you'll be able to get on your Roku device or your Apple TV and download the K-ROG app, and you'll be able to go back and watch the episode on the Apple TV with Dr. Rocky Valentine.
Absolutely. Wait a minute.
Yeah, your mic's going in and out. I don't know what the problem is there.
We lost me.
We lost you. Make sure it's plugged in.
I've got a frog in my throat.
Plug that in a little bit. That sounds like it's working. Heard that.
Now it's working.
There you go.
There we go. So yeah, I mean,
he was on the show, and he's a like-minded guy, and he's local. He's from Booker County over there. Grew up, went to Ava High School.
So he softened a little bit when he came to Webster County.
Well, he actually went to Christian County for a bit. He was at Sparta. He was a superintendent at Sparta, and we talked about the great anomaly that is the Sparta Trojans.
Yep.
I'm assuming that after that happened, the history teacher got fired. But then he's been the assistant superintendent. He was the superintendent at Sparta for a while. He was the assistant superintendent in Marshfield, and now he's going to be our superintendent here in Rogersville. And I'm looking forward to it. I think he's going to do a great job.
Yeah.
What killed me, though, was I think he graduated from high school, get this, in 2008.
Holy mackerel.
I know, right?
Boy, we're old.
We are old. A couple of old guys on here. But I did hear, speaking of financial news, that everyone is shocked, especially the White House, that despite the fact that wages have increased, they haven't kept pace with inflation. And everybody that got their pay bump and their minimum wage raise actually got farther behind in terms of actual spending power. And they're just scratching their heads as to how that could possibly happen. But we know the answer.
How? Because you got a bunch of buffoons running the country. So you know how when you're a sports team and you go to play a game with a rival that is like way far down the ladder. They're inferior to your team in all ways, shapes, sizes, forms, plays, everything.
Right.
But you go there and you play a tight, close game because you play to the opposition.
You play down to their level, yeah.
Right? So now, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. But when you have is idiocracy a word?
Yeah, well, I've seen it used, and we can certainly make it a word.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's idiocracy. It's not democracy.
Yeah.
It's idiocracy, what's going on right now. And so when they talk dumb enough, long enough, people start thinking that they're smart.
Well, people just start to believe it.
And they come down to that level. So you know what? Elevate yourself.
Yeah.
Don't think that anybody, name me, I might be able to name one or two people in our government that I would trust to take the reins and move forward. That's it.
Yeah.
And we got what? 500 and how many people?
535 in the House and another 100 in the Senate.
And I can't think of a single one I would trust with my daughter, let alone my checkbook.
We just set Eric Burleson up there, and I mean, he's a pretty good guy.
And yeah, he's brand new.
Yeah, he just got to Washington, so we're hoping that it doesn't wear off on him too bad.
Well, my comments to him at lunch the other day was, don't let him corrupt you.
Yeah.
So
they're going to try hard.
That's a word we need to start using so that they know we're not idiots.
And we're not.
We're
watching.
It's so corrupted that it's got to be cleaned up. I'm not an always Trumper type guy. Trump's probably not the answer.
No, I don't think he is anymore.
He was
good for a time. He was very good for a time. But I don't think he's the leader going forward.
And I don't know who that is. I don't think also McCarthy, I don't think he needs to be the leader.
Well, he's a bit of a rhino, which is a problem with McCarthy.
And so here we go.
DeSantis looks really good. Hope he continues to look good.
He's gaining some steam.
Yep.
Jim Jordan, I think I like Jim Jordan. Mm-hmm. I do like Josh Hawley.
I do too. Josh is a great guy.
I've talked to Josh very at length a couple of times. He's good. He knows what the purpose is, what his job is. And
everybody's job in Washington should be to get the federal government back to what it's intended to do. There's only there's a proper purpose of government, and the proper purpose of government is to do three things: to protect the life, liberty, and property of its citizens. That's it. That's all a government is for. Those are the basic functions of government. Everything other than that is ancillary and potentially not necessary. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not even saying you shouldn't do it, but I'm saying you need to be very, very careful when you decide to have government do anything else. And at the federal level, it absolutely should not be doing anything other than protecting the life, the liberty, and the property of its citizens. Now you get to the state level, maybe we want to build some roads.
Right.
Maybe we want to do a little infrastructure that's for the benefit of everybody. But of course, all that comes to how are we going to pay for that? And of course, you and I have now picked up the mantle of the fair tax charge here in Missouri.
Well, and I encourage everybody, look that up, check it out. It's the proper way to provide tax revenue to the leaders of our state.
It's the only fair and transparent way of collecting taxes.
That's exactly right. Now, you got to remember what Ronald Reagan said. And I was a big Ronald Reagan guy, and I was just a kid, right? But I'm telling you, the guy was smart beyond years.
He only made one mistake that I can think of, but
maybe two.
Yeah.
But
as president,
let's see. You might want to count these words. There were 9 of the scariest words ever spoken. I'm here from the government.
I'm from the government, and we're here to help.
And we're here to help.
Yep.
Back then we were going through the same issues.
Yep.
They were not, as loud as they are today because we have so much communication today.
Yep.
We have social media, we have TV, we have radio, we have telephones, we have immediate
and we have to start
information.
Speaking louder, and that's one part of what K-ROG is to just be able to speak a little louder.
Well, and you know what? I think we got to hold them accountable too.
Absolutely.
Roy Blunt, you had your time. You dropped the ball in the end. Now go home.
Yeah,
because you're not.
What a horrible way to end a career. What a horrible way to end a career.
Horrible way.
Terrible legacy.
Don't think it didn't go unnoticed.
It didn't.
Not everybody is his fan.
No.
That doesn't mean I'm a bad person. That doesn't mean I'm not a supporter of my party.
Unfortunately, we watched Roy go from a pretty good guy to a pretty horrible, go along, whatever, do nothing, weak, I'm going to vote for Democrat stuff that he never should have done. And he turned his back on his constituents, and I'm very disappointed to have to
treat them all like NASCAR drivers and put coats on them with all their sponsors.
That would be handy.
That sounds funny, but you know what? Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see.
The most
why not hold them accountable? And I get pretty riled up over this because the problem is
you and me both.
The problem is you got people putting money in their pockets personally and in their PACs and all this stuff, and there's no accountability for it. They don't have to answer to anybody for it. And I'm here to tell you, folks, that's the wrong way to run your country.
Yeah.
Do you know any Roman citizens?
Not anymore, no.
Oh, how come?
Because Rome doesn't exist.
And they were the most powerful country in the world.
You know what killed them?
What?
Taxation and sexual corruption.
Oh, you're kidding
No,
me.
that's exactly what took them down.
Oh, I wonder. I mean, should we learn from lessons from our past?
If we could.
2,000 years, I'm telling you, is not a long time when you're talking eternity.
Not
so
at
you
all.
need to get right.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
That's the main thing, because every bit of this, temporary.
It's very true.
It's a blink of an eye.
Important for us to keep in mind and not get too riled up about these things. Focus on eternity.
That's why, you know what, you can get the hair standing up on the back of your neck, right? Well, most ladies can, I guess, but we can, right?
Yeah.
Or you can just say, you know what, the Lord's in control. Yeah. I trust him. I've got that faith, and I'm not going to worry about it anymore, because you know what? Blink of an eye is how long we're here. These people will be held accountable just like you and I are. No one is above anybody else. And in the Lord's eyes, we're all the same. And we're going to be accountable.
And it's because of that faith that gives us the ability to stand our ground. And I hope that folks like Eric Burleson can remember that when he goes now that he's in Washington, can remember that his faith is what gives him the ability to stand his ground against his own party, because he needs to. Yep. And I am going to be interested to find out. I want to look. I want to know, where did Eric stand? Did he vote for Jim Jordan? Was he one of the 20? Or did he vote for McCarthy? I kind of want to know. Kind of interested to know about that.
And that should be public information.
Well, it is. We can find out, and we will. I think.
Anyway, hey, we got all riled up today. We didn't really talk about anything, but we love our community.
Put your money in a Roth.
Yeah, put your money in a Roth IRA. Okay, now we covered the ground. If you need any help with that, just holler
882-1800.
And our workshops start up next week.
Next week, wow. Yeah.
I think we're full in January, but call the office. We've got some great informational workshops starting up. Don't forget, we handle Social Security disability. Yep. There's a lot of things coming on. We've got a new announcement here in about a week.
Very exciting.
With K-ROG. We've got some new things coming at the Resource Center, and that will be coming full circle and actually in our plan on the 19th of this month. So we'll have a big announcement about that coming up, and probably a guest on the show for that.
Sounds good.
And it's going to be good.
Yep.
So,
We'll see you then. If you have an Apple TV, don't forget to download the K-ROG app. You can look at you can watch our live stream, the streaming live stream, what we do live. You can watch shows that the past week's shows are playing in a loop on there when we're not live. Or you can go back, video on demand. And we're still uploading old shows because it takes a while to get all that content uploaded. But download that.
We're just going to keep building this.
We're going to keep building it. Roku and Apple TV right now. So, we will see you next week.
All right. Sounds good.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.